Hello, if you've ever been through a traumatic event and you've had talking therapy and the talking therapy's helped, but you sort of feel that there's still stuff stuck in your body and the trauma just keeps recurring, then this video is for you. I just want to explain a little bit about why that could be and what it is you're feeling and what you can actually do about it. So let's first of all talk about trauma. And what is trauma? Trauma is an event that happens that your nervous system is unable to return back to balance after. So what do I mean by that? So that is anything, and you know, there's really like a whole range of things, and different things will be traumatic to different people, and other people, something that's traumatic to one person, someone else would be able to deal with quite easily. It wouldn't be a problem. So we're really on a spectrum here. So that's the first thing we have to remember, is that there's a spectrum here, and there's not a one-size-fits-all solution to this. So it really depends on your resilience in your nervous system. It depends on whether you've had previous things happen to you that may be re-triggered by something occurring. And it depends on the frequency of stuff that's happened to you as well, and where your nervous system state is at the time that you experience the traumatic thing. So when we experience the event and the nervous system is unable to go back to a balanced state, that's when we actually experience trauma. That's when trauma occurs, because our body then retains the effect of that traumatic event, because when the nervous system goes back to balance, the body is able to release. And I'm just going to link below a video that shows this in the animal kingdom, how animals release. So animals release with a tremor mechanism. We have that mechanism available too. And you might recognize it, you know, like if something, say you're driving your car and someone pulls out in front of you and you have to brake really hard. After that's over, you go like, oh my God, I'm all shaky. That's our natural release response. But if we get caught in a situation when we're not able to complete that response, so this can sometimes happen when with the traumatic event we're trapped and we're unable to escape, and the body will then go through what's called the defense cascade. So the nervous system goes through this cascade one step at a time. So we start with the obvious fight and flight. We try and run away from the threatening thing. If we're unable to flee, we'll go into freeze, which is, you know, I'll just stay still and then hope that the event will pass, or the threatening event will pass. And then the final thing would be like an even stronger freeze, or sometimes called fawn, where the body literally starts to shut down. So that's when the heart rate goes really, really slow, and we just go into a state where we're almost like frozen. And then once that event has passed, the body will then bring us back. So we start to go back up through those other states I've described to balance. But if we're unable to go back up through those other states, that's when we get stuck, and that's when we have this traumatic situation that remains in the body. Now, what can we do about this? Well, there's definitely stuff we can do about this to be able to release. The first thing, though, the most important thing that you need to know about this is to be able to release, you have to have safety. So when I work with my clients in this situation, then what I will do is sometimes the client can't find safety in their body to start with, because the body's not a safe place. So what we work on is them feeling safe with me, or safe in my studio here, or if we're online, safe with me online, so that they can find that. It's called co-regulation. They find that safety with me first, and then we develop that safety in themselves naturally. And once the body feels safe, the body's able to start releasing. And we can do this by using some exercises that invoke the natural tremoring mechanism, and we can do it by using a particular type of breath work that closes down the part of our brain that will clamp down on that response to be able to allow us to release. So I hope you find that really interesting, that this is a somatic approach to treating trauma, chronic stress. There's often chronic illnesses that come from unreleased trauma in the body. So you know, things you might recognise, like chronic stress, overwhelm, and just feeling like you're always on the edge of tipping over, because your nervous system's full. So, you know, any tiny little thing will send you into a spin. One of my clients used to call it like a flat spin, go into a flat spin. Things like ME, Things like chronic fatigue can all be, IBS, which I used to have, migraines, can all be a result of stuff that's stuck in the body and that is unable to be released because the trauma has been stored rather than being released naturally.